information. So I have a bit of a slide presentation here, hoping everything is going to work, but I'm going to take you through my journey of starting my newsletter on LinkedIn. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to add it to the stage, and I'm on the wrong slide. I'm just going to go backwards. So I am seeing some uncomfortable emojis. Thank you so much. Oh, and Natalie says, never, guilty. So if you can put into the comments, everyone, like a celebration emoji, if you can see the slide presentation. Do you see it? I just want to make sure because this is my first time using it. If you see it here, it has my title, Why Your Business Needs a LinkedIn Newsletter. You see it? Okay, I am going to get started. All right, so here is my the first launch of my newsletter. Now, with your LinkedIn newsletter, you can create like what it is going to look like. So that means you get to like brand it out, and you can like think about like how is it that people are going to how they're going to accept it. Now, this is why it's very important to think about this. Now, I mentioned earlier that I already have a newsletter that goes out every single Monday via email. Now, when I decided to put together my LinkedIn newsletter, I decided that it had to be different from the newsletter that I send out every single week. This is the reason why. I started my business in 2018, celebrating 6 years. And the people who are on my email list, they are individuals who have been on my list since 2018. They were interested in everything having to do with digital marketing. But when we have a business, our business evolves. So I speak to a different audience now. And also with my email marketing, what I do once per year is I scrub the list. So individuals who haven't opened up the email for quite some time, I take them off the list. I've also had people who have unsubscribed because my old email, the newsletter, didn't really serve them. So with LinkedIn, I am here with intention, as I am on other platforms. But on LinkedIn, it's not just about pushing content. LinkedIn is about networking. I call it the place for the online networking. So individuals tend to be disappointed if they're just pushing out content. When you're on LinkedIn, I spoke about earlier how it is that you can look for individuals and connect with people with intention. And a tip that I would like to share is how can you connect with individuals who are under the umbrella of the 3 C's? The 3 C's being your customers, like who are your future clients? Your other C being collaborators. Are there individuals that they're not necessarily your target audience, but they're well connected to your audience on LinkedIn? Or perhaps there's opportunities to work with these individuals. These are another set of people to connect with. Last but not least, your cheerleaders. So if you have been heading out to networking events like I have, one of my goals is that when I leave the event, within 48 hours, I would like to connect with anybody that I've had a really great conversation with. Sometimes some of these events, they will share contact information, and I'll go through that list and I will connect with others on LinkedIn. Now, the goal is that when you are connecting with others with intention, things are going to become more aligned. And you will also find that you will have more engagement on your content because people are connected to you because they know, like, and trust you. And then they're interested in what it is that you have to say. So my newsletter every single Monday tends to be different. On occasion, I will repurpose it, but I do make it for the individuals on LinkedIn when I'm sharing it here. So let's go through this slide. You want to establish the look and the goal. So with LinkedIn, like I'm putting the circle around here, a lot of people, what they do is that they will put in a logo of their company. But did you know that if you put in a picture of yourself in this section, more people will want to subscribe? It's that know, like, and trust factor. So we put in a picture of me. And then you can name your newsletter. And I don't mean like having a subject line every single week, but this is the name of my newsletter. So think about like what is the title that aligns with your business, yet kind of gives people a bit of insight as to what it is that you're going to share. So my newsletter is called Digital Coffee with Dee. And with your newsletter, you are able to send out your newsletter daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. I believe that those are your options. So think about what is it that you can maintain consistently. Also, if you're like, yes, I want to send out a newsletter every single day, know your audience, right? Know whether or not they're going to want to see your newsletter every day. And if you are able to send out value every single day. So, yes, I have it all here. We've got bi-weekly, we've got your title, we've got the picture for that trust there. And that is how you are going to establish the look of your newsletter. Now, you put the title there and you put the picture there. And now you can give some insight about your newsletter. So every single week, my newsletter is going to be about tips and tricks to stand out on LinkedIn. So we are working up towards your first launch of your newsletter, but after that, when people get to your profile, they're going to be able to subscribe to your newsletter. And not only are they going to know the title of your newsletter, but they are going to know what your newsletter is about. Now, I've left out some important information, so let me go backwards for a moment. You can create your newsletter in your LinkedIn article section. Now, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more articles. I think I am just going to stick with the newsletter. And I am going to do this because when you launch your very first newsletter, the very first newsletter on LinkedIn, what is going to happen is that it is going to notify all of your first connections. So if you are connected to 500 individuals, 300 individuals, 10,000 first connection individuals, with your first LinkedIn newsletter, it is going to let everybody know. Now, that is so awesome. That's not going to happen with your articles. That's not going to happen with your LinkedIn posts. That's not going to happen when I do my LinkedIn lives. I mean, you can always do those things, but this is a great push to like reawaken connections that forgot that they were connected to you in the first place. So this is why I'm going to do the LinkedIn newsletter. Another thing about the LinkedIn newsletter is that it has more reach. So I already spoke about the first reach when you launch your LinkedIn newsletter. But after that, when you do your newsletter daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, LinkedIn will share your newsletter out to more people than it would your regular LinkedIn posts. So this is why I really love it. So I talked about how it is that you're going to establish your look and establish your goal. And now you are going to be able to create your actual newsletter. So when you are creating your newsletter, you'll be able to put the title of the actual newsletter. So every week, for instance, I have a different topic. And then you are able to like write it all out. You can even like share some links. I wouldn't suggest too many links because, like all platforms, LinkedIn wants to have everybody stay on the platform. And then you can schedule it. So I schedule out my newsletters on Saturdays. Some of my clients schedule their newsletters throughout the week. And if I can just add this, you can add search engine optimization on the back end of your newsletter. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but whenever you are Googling something, so if you're on Googling and you are looking up how to do something or why is this like this, or you're looking up something about how to get over a particular pain point, Put it in the chat if you have noticed this. But what's starting to happen on Google is that LinkedIn newsletters and LinkedIn articles are coming up first. So if you add search engine optimization on the back end of your newsletter, then Google is going to pick that up. And then when people are looking for a how to, or they're looking for how to maneuver over a particular pain point, they can go to your LinkedIn newsletter first because LinkedIn and Google, well, Google considers LinkedIn a platform to have so much value and so much credibility. So that content is being shared first as opposed to like a blog from a website. So this is why I don't think I'm going to be doing the articles because A, the newsletters get pushed out more, and then it can also show up on Google. Now, here are the insights after I shared my newsletter a month and a half ago. Now, if you can see here on the left-hand side, what I did was I did a screen capture of the last 90 days. Now, I haven't had a newsletter for 90 days, but here is a screen capture just so you can see like how everything peaked. Now, I'm going to walk you through what all of these insights mean. And this is why you should take a look at your insights on LinkedIn, whether it's just for your profile, for your company page. And once you launch your newsletter, it's going to show you insights for your newsletter. So here we go. I launched my newsletter in August. And on that first day of the 24th, see, I said it was a Saturday, I had 84 subscribers. Oh my goodness, was I not excited? 84 subscribers to my LinkedIn page or my LinkedIn newsletter. Now let's take a look at these numbers here. We've got 397 article views and we've got 345 new subscribers. So this is over 90 days. This is what happened on day one, Saturday, August 24th. However, when I took this screen share yesterday, it is showing me like where my newsletter is standing for the last month and a half. So I have 397 article views. That means that individuals within that whole 90-day period, they actually clicked into my newsletter and hopefully they read it, but they actually like they didn't just scroll by, but they clicked through to read my newsletter. Overall, between August and now, I have 345 subscribers. Though I will say this morning before the live, I think I was at 360 subscribers with my LinkedIn newsletters. Now, my LinkedIn newsletter, the subscribers are those who are my first connections, my second connections. So my newsletter got me in front of individuals who did not know about me before. The second connections means that I'm not connected to that individual, yet there's somebody else who I'm connected to who is also connected to that individual. So it's like 1 degree of separation. And then with my new subscribers, I also had individuals who are my third connections. So third connections means that these individuals, they're not connected to anyone that I know. They're not connected to my first connections. There's nothing to link us. Yet my newsletter got in front of those individuals. So hold on to your hats because a little bit later, I'm going to talk about how it is that you can leverage that information. Now, taking a look at the insights on the right-hand side, we have like what's happened in the past 28 days. We have 909 impressions in the past 28 days. So that means that my newsletter has been displayed. So when people are scrolling, they see my newsletter. So that doesn't mean that they've stopped or clicked through, but my newsletter went across their feed on LinkedIn. Then we have 356 article views. So I know I said 397, but that was in 90 days. This here is in the last 28 days. I have had 356 article views. So people have actually clicked into my newsletter and they've read it. And last but not least, I've had 24 engagements across my newsletters. By the way, that's over 3 newsletters that these insights are what I'm sharing with you. I've published 3 newsletters on LinkedIn, and I got all of this information from my newsletter. So overall, 24 engagements where that's people sharing reactions or they are sharing comments. So if any of this is really exciting you, if you could put like a celebration emoji, because this really excites me. And I am all about a social media platform that is really going to help my business and actually shares with me information that I can use. But I've got more. Now, here is some information about my new subscribers. And notice it says that it is shown in order of recency. Okay, so newest to last. Now, you will see that when you are taking a look at the insights for your subscribers, and this is not individual information, by the way, but this is like your subscriber list as a whole. So, yes, you can definitely see the profile pictures of the people who have subscribed. And beside that, you will be able to see if there are first connection or a second connection or a third connection. But as a whole, you can get information about the group of subscribers. So you can get information and see, like, okay, what are the job titles of some of these individuals? Where are they located? Which is really great, especially if your business is location specific. You can, oh, I'm not quite sure about the next thing here, but you can see like the size of their company as well. You can see the titles that they have at the companies. Company size might be really important for you if you are somebody who works with like small companies. And then when you are taking a look at all of these insights, this can help you know that you are on the right track with your content, or it can help you make better decisions as to what type of content you can share because you are very much aware of the audience who is following you on LinkedIn or who is actually following your email, not your email list, but your newsletter on LinkedIn. Do I have anything else here? Oh, and here's the next one. So I spoke about, the fact that you'll be able to see their first connection, second connection, and third connection. So this is where it's going to get even more excited. Now, it's one thing to know who's following you. It's one thing to know who is subscribing to your newsletter on LinkedIn. But if you are interested in learning how it is that you can leverage this information, I'm going to keep it simple. You can just put a happy face. So if you can put a happy face in the comments, I'm going to know like how much you want to know how it is that you can take LinkedIn even further so that you can grow your brand and grow your business. So I'm going to wait a little bit because maybe you're not too excited. I know I'm really excited about being on a platform where not only do I get to like share content that lets people know a lot about what it is that I do or how it is that I could help them, but I love to know that I am on a platform that is sharing information with me so that I can take the next step. Okay, so let's talk about how it is that you can leverage these connections. Now, let's say you've got first connections who have subscribed to your LinkedIn newsletter. Remember when I mentioned earlier that LinkedIn is going to let everybody know about your first newsletter? Well, what's so awesome is that it is reawakening. Like people are like, oh, I'm connected to Denise. Oh, I'm connected to Rosanna. I'm connected to Natalie. Well, how is it that you can leverage that? So here we go. I've got a list for you. Now, what you can do is that you can go into the DMs because you are, oh, Matrix is asking, am I the only one with a frozen view? So you know what I'm going to do? Thank you. I am going to just move this. So Matrix, can you see me? So let's talk about how it is that you can leverage your first connections on LinkedIn. Now, on LinkedIn, because these individuals are already connected with you, wouldn't it be so awesome for you to send a connection request and or you can send a direct message to somebody who is your first connection on LinkedIn and you could say something as simple as, "Hi, Matrix. Thanks so much for subscribing to my newsletter. I'm really excited that I just started this. It's my first time. What did you think of it?" So there is a little bit of a conversation there, just a thank you. I mean, if we saw people in real life, we would thank them. Something else that you can do is after you thank somebody, you can send a direct message to them and say, "Hey, you know what? We've been connected for quite some time, and I would love to have a digital coffee. I mean, everybody needs coffee or tea. Can we meet online and we can talk about our business? Because you know what? I like to refer people who are in my network." So that is how you are starting another conversation. And you know what? I mean, I've met with people who are realtors. I have met with individuals who are copywriters. I have like hired other individuals or just people getting to know people through the DMs. Then what happens is that when I'm connected with others, and sometimes like requests go out there on LinkedIn that people are looking for somebody specific, I can just like I can just tag that person or I can even offer to connect these individuals in the DMs. Matrix says, "How did you know I love hearing my name?" Okay, very funny. Anyway, yeah, so I just got off track there. Matrix is a funny guy. So that is how you can start the first connection. And then here is a big one. Here's something that you can do. Now, all of these things, when I speak about like having these relationship builders with the first connection, second connection, and third connections, you only want to do this with individuals who are going to feel aligned. So, will they fall under the three C's? Will they be your future clients? Will they be a future collaborator? Could they be that cheerleader, like individuals of like minds? Those are the conversations that you want to like start something with. So if there is somebody who could be a future customer, could they use that amazing download that you have? So for instance, I have a download called 7 Steps to Connect with Your Target Audience on LinkedIn. I just did a plug there. If you are interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'm going to share the link a little bit later. But if you have a free download like that, after you thank somebody for subscribing to your newsletter on LinkedIn, you could send them to a landing page to something that's going to be helpful for them. Okay, it's got to be helpful for that individual. So maybe you've got like 3 downloads. Send the download that's most helpful. So you can send that person to the download and then they can put in their name and put in their email address. Then they're going to get that helpful download. And then what will happen is that they are now on your regular newsletter. So that is amazing where you can connect with people off of social media. So that is one way, or those are several ways that you can leverage your first connections. Now, how is it that you can leverage those second connections? Second connections are individuals who are not connected to you yet. However, they are kind of like linked to you by somebody you are connected to. So all you got to do is because that person who's a second connection request, because they've subscribed to your newsletter, you could send them a connection request. Yes, go ahead. Send them a connection request so that they can become your first connections. And they may be more inclined to actually accept because they're following your newsletter. Once you guys are now connected, you can thank them. So by the way, when people connect with you on LinkedIn, when you send a connection request, it's always so nice to thank them. So it could be as simple as "Thanks, Josephine, for accepting my connection request." And then when you send out the next newsletter, you could thank them for subscribing and then do the whole thing that I mentioned already with regard to somebody who is your first connection. Last but not least, this is something that you can do with someone as well who is your third connection. You could send them a connection request. So these are ways that you can leverage LinkedIn. These are ways that you can leverage your LinkedIn newsletter. So, LinkedIn newsletter, not only does it allow you to reach everybody and reawaken connections, those first connections, but your LinkedIn newsletter also like pushes you out to more people than you've ever imagined. And then you've got all of these second connections who never knew about you before, and they're now subscribing to your newsletter. And even um, those third connections are now going to be subscribing to your newsletters. And that is great. More visibility, Yahoo. Okay. I also mentioned the fact that you can make your newsletter SEO friendly, so search engine optimization. So this is where I'm a believer that you don't want to be salesy. Don't get me wrong. You can definitely like share value and then have a call to action. I always have a call to action for people to reach out to me, but offer value. And when you offer value, think about what is it that you're writing in your newsletter. So as I mentioned, search engine optimization. What are the keywords that people are searching on Google when they need somebody who does what it is that you do? What are the pain points that they are looking for? So these are the things that you want to write about, and these are the things that you want to implement so that when you put it on the back end of your LinkedIn newsletter, then when people go to Google, your newsletter shows up before the other website. So how awesome is that? So here's my question to you. How excited are you right now about LinkedIn newsletters? I would love to know, like, thumbs up in the chat. Do you think that this is something that you might consider implementing? And after you put the thumbs up, I would love to know, like, what is it that you think that you would do? Do you think you would send out a newsletter daily? Or would you send out a newsletter weekly or bi-weekly or monthly? Personally, for me, I like to send out a newsletter every 2 weeks. My email list, I send out a newsletter every single week, always with things that are actionable and helpful. But on LinkedIn, I think about what is it that I can handle for my business. And also, things to consider is how will I be able to do it consistently? And also, if you're going to do a LinkedIn newsletter every single day, think about the end user. Are they going to appreciate getting that newsletter every single day? So always keep like your audience in mind and think about how is it that you are going to be able to do this continuously. So, you know what? Thank you so much for, being here. And if you didn't hear before, I would love if you can share in the comments, like the name of your business, where it is that we can find you online. So please share your website and how it is that you help your amazing clients. And, if you have any questions about your LinkedIn newsletter and getting it started, please reach out because on LinkedIn, it's more than there's again so much you can do, but your LinkedIn newsletter can really help you to like leverage the actual platform. It's not even just about getting in front of more people. So if you're like me, this is probably feeling very exciting. So if this is feeling very exciting for you, but if it's feeling a little bit overwhelming for you, don't worry. You would be interested to know that I offer a LinkedIn newsletter accelerator. So I'm doing my hands like I'm a genie, okay? But what the newsletter can do for you, it's like, yes, it does what a genie does, okay? And of course, with a lot of strategy. So I have a LinkedIn newsletter accelerator. And basically, what's going to happen is that my team and I, we will set up your LinkedIn newsletter. So do all that branding for you, making sure that you've got that title in there. That's a really great hook. And then we are going to implement. So we are going to do this by creating 2 LinkedIn newsletters. So we're not going to just set you up with one LinkedIn newsletter and then you're like, oh my gosh, I am on my own. We will set you up with 2 LinkedIn newsletters and we will schedule it for you. So that will all be done for you, and we are going to write that newsletter for you. So let us know, what it is that you thought about this live. If you are interested in the LinkedIn Newsletter Accelerator, please send me a direct message. We are streaming live on LinkedIn and we are streaming live on Facebook. You could just go to my Facebook page, for instance, if you are watching that there, and you can send me a direct message if you're interested in this. We are launching this for October. It is the third quarter, and this is the time to get this established, folks. So find me on Facebook at Dee Boswell-Buck and on LinkedIn at Denise Boswell, because I just verified my account, and that's what you'll find me at. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I will be back in a couple of weeks with an amazing guest. And thank you for watching. So everybody have a great, successful day. And when you launch your LinkedIn newsletter, please put the link in my direct message, okay? Because I would love to read it and I will even share it for you. Take care, everybody. Thanks.